What's up, guys? How are you all doing? Welcome to another episode of Lee's World. Tonight I'm going to be covering the first game of the AFL Finals for 2017 between the Crows and the Giants to be played at Adelaide Oval. As usual, they're going to get a packed house. I would say they're going to get 50,000 easy. Standing room seats are going to be packed. Always a fantastic atmosphere at Adelaide Oval. So I'm expecting both the Giants and the Crows to put on a show. Going to be a real pressure cooker atmosphere out there. So yeah, let's talk about the game a little bit. I was doing a bit of research beforehand, and I found out, the Giants, they've been pretty good all year, obviously. I think everyone knows that. They've been very consistent at home and at Manuka as well. Kind of dropped the ball a tiny bit away from home. Still very dominant, very competitive. But there have been a few instances where they haven't favoured too well on the road. It'll be interesting to see how their young group goes in the finals, especially against the Crows. Their first game of the season, they got blown out at Adelaide Oval. Not too much to make out of that, really. I mean, it could have happened to any number of teams. And I think Adelaide, a lot of people were sleeping on them to start the year. They knew they were going to be powerful, but many people doubted how much of an impact losing someone like Dangerfield would have. But they've had the likes of Rory Sloane step up. Tex Walker's had a fantastic year as well. Charlie Cameron's continued to be consistent. And they've had Brad Crouch, heavily underrated in the midfield, along with his brother Matt Crouch. So they've done a fantastic job. And the back brigade for the Crows, their defenders have been fantastic as well. It's been very hard to score on them. You've had the likes of Luke Cheney and Kyle Hartigan down there doing really good work, along with Rory Lade and Jake Lever as well. So it's been a fantastic year for those guys, really. And then, of course, Eddie Betts lighting things up. Obviously, if he gets firing on Thursday night, it could be very hard for the Giants to keep him in check. So, yeah, I must admit, I absolutely love watching games. I told my mate Mike and Chris and Reese as well. I said I absolutely love watching games at the Adelaide Oval. For Port or for Adelaide, they've just got a fantastic atmosphere down there. I love the standing room seats. Brand new venue, obviously. Fantastic. And the Adelaide fans, they get stuck into it easily some of the most passionate fans in the entire land. And one thing I like about them as well, teams losing, teams winning, they always rock up. They come out in force. They give their voice. And they're always the extra man on the field, helping the players out, getting them through. And in the finals, it's going to be really interesting. I mean, the Giants have played finals. They played finals last year. Who knows, maybe the pressure cooker atmosphere they had going themselves with the Bulldogs, maybe it got to them a tiny bit. Very easily a few questionable decisions. I think it'll be very interesting to see how they handle Adelaide in this particular final. It's going to be red hot from the opening bounce. Now, just to talk about the Giants for a tiny bit, them themselves, they've got some veterans now themselves. Stevie J, I personally hope he does go out there. I think he is an X factor for the Giants, and he can provide some much needed veteran leadership, just like Heath Shaw will be doing. Not entirely sure if Delidio will be lining up or not, but they'd certainly be hoping he could be out there as well. You've got Big Shane Mumford, who's probably going to bash some people around on the field. Always a very physical ruckman, and he's had a fantastic year as a ruckman in general. This year's been good for him. Matty DeBoer might not exactly see the field, but yeah, they've got some decent players there. And of course, you've got their midfield, which is absolutely lethal. Obviously, with Adam Tomlinson, Steve Conglio, and Tom Scully as well, doing work down there. Forward line, as always, is extremely difficult to score against. Obviously, with Jeremy Cameron and John Patton doing work down there. Patton, of course, is a load and will normally demand a double team. Those two have been an absolutely lethal force this year, and they're only going to get better. And of course, down in defence for the Giants, they have been very hard to score against this year, obviously with Heath Shaw manning things up. So they certainly have tightened things up quite a bit. Phil Davis obviously leading the way down there, and lots of other people chipping in as well. Adam Kennedy being one of them. So look, here's excuse my phone going off there. Look, here's my thought on how it's going to play out, guys. I personally think the Giants might be out of their depth a little bit. I think they're going to put up. I think they'll put on a good show, and they might hang with them for a little bit. But I personally think if the Crows get out in the first quarter and they're certainly playing well enough, I think Adelaide could blow them away pretty easily. I'm not entirely sold on the Giants just yet. I'm not entirely sure on the injuries of both teams, actually. Bear with me for 1 second. Let's take a look. Just use my iPad here. Let's take a look at the injury list for the GWS Giants. Ryan Griffin, when he hasn't played all year. Matt Bunting for the season. Adam Kennedy for the season. So pretty fit and healthy for the Giants. Not too much to be concerned about there. Let's look at the Crows. Daniel Talia test, Andy Otten test, Rory Sloan test, Alex Keefe concussion. They wouldn't mind Talia, Otten and Sloan. Don't know too much about Keefe, admittedly. Jordan Gallucci, Elliot Himmelberg, and Cam Ellis Yeoman. Admittedly, I haven't heard of those players, but I'm sure they're going to be featured in the future as the Crows start to blood some new players themselves. So look, injuries, yeah, okay. I mean, there's a few for the Crows. Giants seem to be pretty fit and healthy. All things considered, I'm picking the Crows. I personally think as a hardened unit themselves in the finals, I think they're going to be just too tough for the Giants. The Giants will get a second chance if they lose anyway. So yeah, who knows? Let's hope they put on a good show to open up the finals of 2017. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Get on board, watch it on TV. 7 mate, I believe, or it may be 7. Pretty easy enough to check on your EPGs on your TVs these days. But guys, let's get into it. Let's get stuck into the AFL finals for 2017. I think it's going to be fantastic. And yeah, I'll see you on the next episode, which I'm more than likely going to try and cover the Geelong-Richmond game. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.